my name is Scott Stivers, and this is my Prolegomena for Beer and Theology, a production of my website WePlayMakeBelieve.com. A prolegomena is a big theological term. I like big theological terms because usually one term covers what a lot of other terms added together would mean. Prolegomena basically means all the things that I need to say to let you know what it is I'm going to say. A lot of systematic theologians will tell you in their prolegomena what their approach is to things like the Trinity and the Church and to the afterlife and to things like that. Beer and theology will not be systematic. The reason is because I like to pattern this after a couple things. First is Luther's Table Talk, which is collected in a book. And also, when I was in seminary, we used to go to the Dubuque Star Brewery in Dubuque when it was open, and we would also drink beer and talk about theology. In Andrew Pettigree's book, Brand Luther, he talks about how Luther would sit at a table in his house with his friends, and his wife will have brewed a great beer like housewives used to do back then, and they would talk about all kinds of things. And according to Pettigree, the conversations would be general, discursive, and often unbuttoned. Discursive basically means a conversation that takes a lot of tangents. And that's okay with me, because I'm also a big fan of J.R.R. Tolkien, and even though I won't be wearing the hat during all of my beer and theology sessions, I will, at least in spirit, have my hat on that says, "Not all those who wander are lost." Not all who wander are lost. Close enough. My favorite method is called juxtaposition, when you put two things next to each other and explore how they relate to each other, how they inform one another, and how they change one another, like putting together beer and glasses. Oh, wait. Just in case you're wondering what beer and theology will be like, here's a little taste. Pale lager beers, vaguely of the Pilsner style. They do not all taste the same, but the differences between them are often of minor consequence. Miller Genuine Draft was as far outside the box as I got, unless you count Guinness, which I didn't even realize was a beer at the time. They do not all taste the same, but the differences between them are often of minor consequence. And then there are the mainline Christian churches. These days I tend to agree with what beer guru Jeff Allworth says when he says, light beer is meant to be drunk ice cold, fast, and with as little attention as possible. Ice cold, fast, and with as little attention as possible could also describe the way that we reflect on religion in our society these days too. Good stuff. I want beer and theology to be a collaborative effort, like the table talks and beer and theology that I experienced in the past. Now, on the internet, that happens in the comments below. After I do a beer and theology, I will try to post as many of the books that I talk about, and also comments on the beers that I try from the local breweries around the area in the description of the video. So join me on this journey through the history of beer and the history of theology and all the discussions that we'll wander around into. Cheers!